Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at another fun theme team in the Great League, the Triple Power-Up Punch theme team. This team consists of a Mawile on the lead running Ice Fang, Shadow Hitmonchan on the save switch, and Scrafty as the closer. Now this is definitely a tough team to run, definitely more of a team for fun than for climbing, but I was able to get some really fun wins with it. So without further ado, let's up into the matches and check out the Triple Power-Up Punch theme team in action in the Great League. Hopping to the first match, leading Mawile into Sableye. Honestly, this is a pretty decent lead. They're only able to hit me for resisted damage with their charge moves, and these Ice Fangs are definitely going to add up over time. They're going to go for the foul play. I'm going to let this through. We'll do some solid damage. My opponent is going to save switch into Double, and I respond with my Shadow Hitmonchan. These counters are absolutely shredding Double, but Hitmonchan, pretty glassy, so a second body slam is actually going to take me out. So I'm going to commit the shield, fully farm down, and that way I leave with a ton of energy to throw at whatever they decide to bring in. I am able to get the farm down, opponent sends back in the Sableye, and I almost have two full Thunder Punches loaded. I'm going to fire off the first one, that gets him low, and I'm able to reach a second Thunder Punch as well. Are they willing to give up a shield to protect the Sableye? They are not. In the back, they have Vigoroth. Things honestly looking good for me here. I try and go for a body slam catch, but unfortunately my opponent holds onto their energy. So I'm just going to fire off the Power-Up Punch. Power-Up Punch gets a shield. Mawile able to hang on and reach another Power-Up Punch. That is massive. I'm able to get both shields from the Vigoroth, and I can very safely bring in Scrafty to finish off this game. They go for the body slam. That does some solid chip damage, but I am going to be able to reach the Power-Up Punch, which is going to guarantee the KO. I lose CMP, but I still have a shield, so that is perfectly fine. I lose CMP, I had the foul play, but this is the Power-Up Punch team. Power-Up Punch, taking out the Vigoroth, and that is a good game. Hopping to the next match, leading Mawile into Obstagoon. I do have two stronger responses in the back, so I will want to switch out of here at some point. They're going to continue to farm up, and they're going to fire off a move. I tank whatever they throw here. They are going to go for the cross chop that hits for neutral. I save switch into Hitmonchan, and those two counters do so much damage. Now, I don't have Ice Punch, which is unfortunate, but they don't know that. I'm going to go for the Power-Up Punch and grab a shield. I still haven't revealed the fact that I don't have Ice Punch here. I'm going to let this through. They undercharge the Poison Fang, and that's going to allow me to reach a potential Ice Punch. Can we grab both shields from the Nidoqueen? Yes, we can, despite having only resisted charge moves. This should just be a Poison Fang, so I am going to let that through. Poison Fang is going to get me very low. I'm able to reach the last second play rough. This is resisted, but it will do some solid chip damage as it gets the Nidoqueen low. Scrafty is able to counter down. In comes the Goon. Goon is going to be firing off a cross chop. They want to try and grab shields. I'm going to shield up that cross chop. What do they have in the back? They have Venusaur, and since I have a shield advantage, I should be in an okay spot here. I go for the foul play. That does a nice amount of damage. Opponent sees the writing on the wall and concedes the match. Hopping into the next match, picking up a Dream lead, Mawile into Altaria. Opponent save switches into Galarian Stunfisk, and I have the perfect response available with Scrafty. I'm going to go straight for the Power-Up Punch. Power-Up Punch is, of course, going to be no-shielded. I do survive one Earthquake, so I am going to let the first move through. And then I am going to be farming up here and firing off another Power-Up Punch. This way I can prevent them from reaching another Earthquake, and they're going to let that go. They can bring back in the Altaria. Unfortunately, odds are I'm probably not going to be able to get to a foul play here because the Dragon Breaths are just too oppressive. I do fall short. Could have thrown a Power-Up Punch there. Bring in Mawile. In the back, they have a Escavalier, and I'm just going straight for the Power-Up Punch. May as well start ramping up my counters. Power-Up Punch gets no-shielded. Escav is going to be firing off a move, but at this point, things are looking incredibly good for me. I shield up the Drill Run. I am able to farm down. All that's left is the Altaria. I'm going to fire off the Thunder Punch. This is boosted, so odds are they might commit a shield here, and they're going to be doing that. They're going to get the farm down, but there's just nothing they can do against Ice Fang Mawile. I tank any move they throw here. They go for the Moonblast. We tank it like it's nothing, and I'm just going to start ramping up these Ice Fangs with the Power-Up Punch. Power-Up Punch gets no-shielded. Mawile gets the farm down, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Mawile into Bastiodon. With Ice Fang, this is a terrible lead. I'm going to throw one Ice Fang, save switch into Shadow Hitmonchan, and I am met with a Shadow Victory Bell. This is absolutely terrible. I go for the power-up punch. I'm able to get a shield, but I am not able to reach a second charge move as the Razor Leaf damage is just too oppressive. I'm going to fully wait my clock and then bring in Mawile to go for the farm down. These Ice Fangs absolutely shredding through the Victory Bell. Victory Bell is going to reach a last second Acid Spray, and that is going to debuff my defense, which is really unfortunate because my switch clock is not yet up. They're going to bring in Bastiodon. My defense is debuffed. I'm needing my timer to come up. It does. I bring in Scrafty, and it's a Razor Leaf Tropius in the back. We ran into Grasshole, and this team is not well equipped to handle Grasshole in this order. Foul Play just doesn't do a whole lot. I'm going to go for a power-up punch. At this point, I need a miracle. Please shield the power-up punch, and they let it through. Disaster strikes. I'm able to reach the last second Foul Play, but at this point, my opponent is in the driver's seat of this match. They commit the shield. I bring in Mawile, and I'm going straight for the Play Rough. Play Rough takes down the Tropius. Back in comes the Bastiodon. They have no shields. I have two, but they're not going to be throwing any charge moves here. They're going to be relying on fast move pressure. I fire off the power-up punch. Maybe there's a chance here. Can a second power-up punch KO? This is going to be close. Mawile reaches the power-up punch. Is this going to be enough damage? It is not. Bastiodon able to get the smackdown as we lose a heartbreaking game. Hopping into the next match, putting Mawile into another Sableye. I'm going to be staying in this lead to start, same as I did before. These Ice Fangs do add up quite a bit, but so do the Shadow Claws. They're going to fire off a move. I'm going to be able to survive this foul play, so I am going to be letting that through. That does quite a lot of damage. I'm able to reach the Play Rough just before they reach their second foul play. I decide to bait with a power-up punch. I'm able to get a shield, and they're going to fire off their foul play. That works for me. I'm going to let this go, and then just look to farm energy on Scrafty. I believe in this particular match, I do make a rather unfortunate mistake, and that's that I actually lost count of Sableye's energy and I shield when this could have only been a foul play, so a pretty massive mistake on my part. I am able to farm down with Scrafty, which is quite nice. They have Venusaur in the back. I'm going to be firing off the foul play, able to land, and it's a Shadow Venusaur. I'm going to farm up till just before they get to the Frenzy Plant and bait with the power-up punch. Power-up punch, gets the shield. Opponent sees the writing on the wall and concedes the match. Hopping into the next match, leading Mawile into Medicham, and this is a massive problem. Medicham beats my entire team. Mawile's the best matchup I have for it, but this is still a really rough spot to be in. They're going to save switch into Galarian Stunfisk, and I have a nice response available in Scrafty. I'm going straight for the power-up punch right off the bat. Let's start ramping up this counter damage. They're going to be able to reach an Earthquake. I'm going to let this through as one Earthquake is not enough to KO. However, I do need to make sure that they're not able to reach a second Earthquake. So I'm going to farm up quite a bit and then fire off a last second power-up punch. This power-up punch is going to be taking down the Stunfisk and ensuring that they're not able to reach a second move. In comes Medicham. I am just not able to reach the foul play as they're going to fire off an Ice Punch to deny my ability to do so. I bring in my Mawile and I'm baiting with the power-up punch, hoping to try and grab a shield. My opponent does commit the shield, and they're going to fire off a move. I'm going to let this go. It's the Psychic. That gets me very low, and now it's all up to Hitmonchan. I desperately need Hitmonchan to be able to close out this match for me. I'm going to commit the shield. They're going to fire off an Ice Punch, and I'm going to be firing off the power-up punch. I'm hoping if I buff up my counters enough that I'm just going to be able to farm through the rest of their team. I go for the power-up punch on the CMP tie. I desperately need this to KO. Power-up punch barely does not KO, and I'm forced to give up my final shield, and that is quite unfortunate. What do they have in the back? They have Diggersby in the back, and unfortunately, Diggersby is going to be able to reach a Fire Punch to take me out. My only win con is to catch. I get them low. I overfarm, but they hold on to their energy. Very nice patience by my opponent. Fire Punch will take out my Hitmonchan as I lose a very close game. Hopping into the next match, picking up a nice lead, Mawile into Trevenant. Ice Fang is going to hit for massive super effective damage here. Opponent sees the Ice Fang. They save switch into Jellicent, so they are running an ABA Ghost line, which is very, very interesting. They're firing off Bubble Beams in this matchup, but Bubble Beams do not allow Jellicent to flip this, as Scrafty just has an incredibly dominant matchup. I go for the foul play. They are committing shields, doing their best to try and flip this, but Scrafty is just going to say no. They fire off another Bubble Beam, and I'm going to return fire with another foul play. This is debuffed, but even debuffed, it's still going to be able to get the Jellicent into the yellow health. They're going to fire off another move. Again, I'm still not going to be committing a shield here. They go for the Shadow Ball. That's not going to KO. I'm going to overfarm and then go for a foul play, and this should just about KO the Jellicent. Foul play, takes out the Jellicent, back in comes the Trevenant, and I'm able to reach a last second debuffed foul play. Foul play, able to land onto the Trevenant. Trevenant down shields, but has a lot of energy, and they're going to fire off a move into the Mawile. I commit the shield. Unfortunately, just a Seed Bomb. In the back, they have Bastiodon. Opponent sees the writing on the wall and concedes the match. Tough lead in the next match, Mawile into Lanturn. I save switch into Shadow Hitmonchan, and my opponent responds with Sableye. Again, not the greatest matchup, but Hitmonchan is at the very least able to grab a shield here, which is quite nice. I continue to farm up. They're going to fire off a move just before I'm able to reach another Thunder Punch. Foul play is going to take me out. It's resisted, but Hitmonchan is just so glassy. I'm going to wait my timer and then bring in Mawile. Mawile continuing to farm. If I can farm all the way down, I will have to shield once, but then I can leave with a Play Rough, and Play Rough will do some solid damage onto the very bulky Lanturn. They're going to fire off another move. Foul play does get me low, but I'm able to hang on and farm down. Back in comes Lanturn, and I'm going to be going straight for the Play Rough here. Play Rough, able to land, bringing in Scrafty, and they're staying in so far, which is hopefully a good sign for me. They're going to fire off a move. I'm going to commit the shield, and then hope that by preserving HP, I'm going to be able to close out this game. And it's Abomasnow in the back. But the unfortunate thing is that I don't have a shield, and Energy Ball does massive damage from Shadow Abomasnow. My opponent was able to grab my final shield, and because of it, they are going to be able to take me out with an Energy Ball. That's unfortunate. It's all up to Mawile. Can Mawile reach a power-up punch? Mawile not able to get to the power-up punch, and that is a good game. Hopping to the final match, picking up a great lead, Mawile into Shadow Golbat. Opponent save switches into Dubwool, and I have a great response available with Scrafty. Scrafty is bulky enough where it can tank 2 body slams in this matchup, meaning that I can just go for the foul play and then farm down without having to expend a shield. The second body slam is going to get me quite low, but honestly, that's perfectly fine, because this way it minimizes the amount of farm that Golbat is going to get. Body slam gets me deep into the red, but I'm able to farm down, and that means that the Golbat is not going to be getting a lot of farm, which is quite nice. Opponent is going to bring back in the Golbat, take out the Scrafty, in comes Mawile. Mawile continuing to farm in the back. They have their own Scrafty. I build up to the Play Rough, confident I'm going to get a shield. I bait with a power-up punch, but they call my bait. Either way, we're in a very comfortable spot here. I don't have to shield a thing. This Scrafty is actually running Acid Spray of all things. I'm able to farm down and leave with the Thunder Punch loaded. At this point, the opponent does know it's over. They're going to let the Thunder Punch through, and that is a good game. All in all, I had a lot of fun with the triple power-up punch theme team. If I had a Shadow Mawile, I definitely would have used it in the place of regular Mawile. Unfortunately, I just don't have a Shadow Mawile, and it hasn't been back in Rocket Stops in a very long time, so I had to settle for a purified one that I managed to get in a trade. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible, so thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.